Okay, lesson 46B, function notation. So in our previous video, we talked about how you can tell whether or not something is a function. And we said that in order for it to be a function, that for every x value, there can only be one y value. We can't have multiple y values for the same x value. So when we talk about function notation, what we're talking about is equations that our functions can be written in a different way. So really, function notation is not something completely new. It's just a different way of writing the same thing. Instead of saying y is equal to 3x minus 8, we could write it this way. And the way we say this is f of x is 3x minus 8. And this doesn't mean f times x. It literally just means the function of x, okay? So in other words, one thing that you can do with this kind of notation is you can say, okay, well, for this particular function, find f of 1. And all that means is substitute in the equation 1 for x. So f of 1 in this case for this particular function would be 3 minus 8, which would be negative 5. Okay? So, we could say find f of 3. Okay? So 3 times 3 minus 8. So that would be 9 minus 8 is equal to 1. So function notation is not something really new or really different. It's simply a different way of expressing what we've been doing already. Things can get a little bit more complicated with function notation, so let's take a look at the next slide and you'll see an example of that. Okay, let's do a new function. Let's do f of x is equal to 2x plus 5. Okay, so if we wanted to find f of negative 2, we would simply substitute x with negative 2 in the equation. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, plus 5 is equal to 1. Okay, now what if we were asked to find f of 1 plus 4? Okay, well, the first thing that we would do is we would find f of 1. So in our equation up above, we would substitute our above equation with, we would put 1 in for x. So 2 times 1 plus 5. So that would be f of 1. And then at the end, we would add 4 to that. Okay, so 2 times 1 is 2, plus 5 is 7. So that part represents the f of 1. But then we need to add 4 to it. So we add 4, and we get 11. Okay? So that's basically what you're going to be asked to do on tonight's homework. You can also express, functions don't always have to be f of something. Sometimes they can be g of something. Okay? We can say that our function is g of x. And g of x is equal to x squared minus 4x, okay? But it would be done the same way. If I said, okay, well then, if g of x is this, find g of 1, I would just replace x with 1, and I would get 1 minus 4, and that's negative 3. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's f of x or g of x, you do it exactly the same way. So that's it for today's lesson, and good luck, and we'll see you in class.